Yo, what you doing, bro?
Just doing a bit of manscaping, mate.
You doing fucking manscaping for on the pod?
No time like the present.
What is manscaping?
What is manscaping, you ask? It's getting your gentlemanly crotch as smooth as a dolphin's beak, my friend.
Oh, that sounds fucking delightful, mate. And what's brought all this on? Where's this come from?
Well, we've decided to partner with the wonderful people at manscaped.com.
Manscaped.com. Why don't you tell the TBC members a little bit more?
Well, I was hoping you'd do that, to be honest. Because, yeah, I'll give you a solid review of how I've used said products.
What we'll do, I will tell the TBC members a little bit more.
We're all dying to know.
And then you can tell them about your ball sack.
I will.
Yeah, so as Ryan said, we've partnered up with Manscaped, and we've got here the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, which is just an amazing bit of kit. And in this kit, you will not be disappointed. You get the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra Groin and Body Hair Trimmer, which is just unreal. So you get your normal trimmer, which is just like, it's not like your average trimmer. It just looks sleek, premium. It's even got a fucking light on it in case you want to shave your bush in the dark. So you can pop your little light on. It's got like the standard trimmer on the top, which you just do your little pubes with, and then you clip that off and you smack on the groin and body hair trimmer, which is like more like rounded, and it like just goes around the contours of like your groin and around your balls.
It's game changing in the groinal area.
Yeah, no more like cuts and snags and fucking
yeah.
I've done that enough times. And then when you've got like your boxers on and shit like that, and it's rubbing on them little cuts, and it's just nothing worse. There's nothing worse. But that's not all you get. You also get a nose and hair trimmer, which nose hair trimmer. I said nose.
So
you get nose
trimmer.
hair trimmer, but you can also use it to pop in your ears. And we advise, don't put it on your bum.
Yeah. or if you are going to, make sure you do your nose hairs first.
Yeah. You don't want to be smelling that turd in HD. And as well as all that, you also get the Manscaped crop. The crop soother, which is ball aftershave lotion. I didn't even know ball aftershave lotion fucking existed.
We didn't know we needed it until we needed it.
Exactly. And then you also get the anti-shafting ball deodorant. So the idea is obviously do your balls wherever you do them. Like in this as well, you also get a magic mat, which is like a newspaper, disposable shaving mats. And you can just literally stand over it, go to town, fucking shave away, and then fucking do what you want with your pubes. Do you know what I mean? Throw them out the window if you want.
Yeah.
Like, blow into Mary's fucking garden. So yeah, once you've done that, obviously shower your bad boys off, get them nice and fucking smooth, and then once you get out of the shower and you've fucking towel dried them lads down, get your fucking ball aftershave lotion and your anti-shafting ball deodorant and fucking smear it all over your little fucking acorns, mate. You will not regret this, TBC members.
Honestly, so can you tell us, Jay, when you got like the products and that, like what?
Oh mate,
what
I'm not
do?
finished. I'm not finished.
Oh, you're not?
Also get a pair of Manscaped underwear, like boxer shorts, put them in your size, and then you also get, which is called the Shed 2.0, which is like the little travel bag that you can throw all of your stuff in. Unreal, mate.
Absolute winner. This is game changing, like in the sort of like manscaping department for me as a whole.
No, it is, and this particular package, by the way, is like it's on sale, so it should be £210. It's 38% off, so you get it for £130. And then even better, if you use code TBC20, you get another 20% off, and you get free delivery.
What? Just absolute boom.
Mate,
Winner.
What more could you want? You've got a bald fucking cock, and then you've got nice fucking Manscaped underwear, so when you're going out on a fucking date, and then, fucking flash the Manscaped logo, they know that you are smoother than a fucking dolphin. Bald from the eyebrows down.
And talk about an extra inch. Jesus Christ, honestly.
Trim the fucking grass to make the yard look bigger, mate. So go on then. You're going to share with the TBC members your fucking manscaping experience.
Yeah, mate. So obviously I got all the stuff out. I was like a fucking kid in a sweet shop. I was just buzzing to fucking rip my fucking duds off. put my mirror in front of my fireplace and just fucking squatted down like I was about to give birth, and just started going fucking everywhere. And then I clipped that little thing off and put the attachment on the cylindrical one, and just like I didn't even have to like do it carefully. It was just like,
yeah, same, man.
like you can just go for it because it's just
You have to be no more getting scared of like, cutting your balls open.
Yeah, just literally like let the boys dangle and just fucking shave the little like say, the acorns,
Mate.
and get them smooth like a Coca-Cola bottle, mate.
There's nothing more enjoyable than just talking about shaving your balls on a podcast.
I know.
Never thought I'd see the day.
I know, me neither. So back to me squatting. So I did everything, and I looked down and I was like, "You got bigger." Wet another shower. Thankfully, I didn't use that fucking tea trial, so my fucking balls didn't blow up like a volcano. And then come back downstairs, put a little drip of the deodorant, and just honestly just caressed.
TBC members have been getting horny, mate.
I know, either that or they're getting like fucking disgusted. Yeah, like bye. See you later, bye. And then got a bit of the aftershave on, and just honestly, like when I was like, because you through the day you have a little fucking itch, don't you? And every time I itch, like I got a little like whiff of like the deodorant and stuff.
Did you?
Yeah, so like my package just smelt fucking elegant as shit, mate.
Oh, mate, that's what you want. That's what the ladies want.
That's what the ladies want.
I don't think they do.
Yeah, they probably don't want that, but a little fucking bald eagle to chew on, they don't want that, do they?
Well, surely it's better than fucking chewing on a fucking 70s bush.
Yeah,
like,
it's better than fucking Zohan, innit?
At least you gonna look like a porn star now, bro.
Oh yeah, fucking dead right I do.
But yeah, like other than me and Ryan just talking about fucking shaving our balls, like it's actually we've got a new fucking partner, mate. Like it's big news.
I know, we're absolutely buzzing.
Both buzzing.
Yeah,
like,
shout out Manscaped, mega.
Yeah, so like we said, mate, fucking hit that link, manscaped.com. And then just go on there, like have a browse, see what trimmers there are. Like I said, we've both got the performance package 5.0, where you get the trimmer, nose hair trimmer, the ball deodorant, and the crop preserver, and all stuff like that. And it's fucking unreal.
Yeah,
like,
the duds as well. They've got some like it's like a different material.
The duds.
Sorry, the underwear or boxers for our American listeners. Like where the sort of like crotch region is, it's like a different material than the actual boxers, and it's like two angels are just holding your sack and dick in place. It's a different boxer experience altogether, man. I don't know how they've done it, but like I put them on and I was just like that's different.
Just cupping your balls for you.
Yeah, proper cupping, like they were supportive, but they were like soft as well.
I'll have to give them a go, mate. I've not worn my undies yet.
Have you not?
No.
First thing I put on after I deodoranted them up.
No, I'll have to try them out tomorrow and I'll review them on the next pod. But yeah, mate, fucking buzzing to be partnered with you guys, and we're excited to share it with all our TBC members. And yeah, enjoy the discount code as well, TBC20, to get 20% off.
Yeah, and you'll not regret
it. Make sure you have a look around, and yeah, they've got shitloads of stuff on the website, and it's all amazing stuff, proper top quality. Like I said, when you got that razor out, I was like, this is proper, like the real deal.
Yeah,
mate.
It's premium shit, innit?
Premium shit. So yeah, mate, fucking everyone get involved, get your balls nice and fucking smooth, and
yeah, fucking seize the day.
Seize the day, mate. And on that note,
peace.
Very
special episode incoming.
And why is that, mate?
We've got the return of the king, baby.
The king? Who is the king?
Guess who's back? Back again. Rooker's back.
Back.
Tell all your friends.
Yes, mate. So Rooker has been back in the TBC hub.
Oh yeah, we love Rooker over here.
Yes, mate. Episode 18, and it's so good to fucking have him back. Like it's just nice because like it was like, I think, was he our first guest?
He was our very first guest, yeah.
Yeah.
And first returning guest.
Oh yeah, shit. I didn't realise that. So yeah, he's our first guest ever on the pod, and he was like probably one of the first people to like reach out to us and be like, love what you're doing, guys. And yeah, like we got him on after like 5 episodes. And he, like, for anyone that's not listened to that episode, he like spoke about, because he's a facilitator at his man club, and he's like spoken to us all about his man club and stuff like that. But yeah, that first episode, as good as the content was, the fucking sound quality was shit.
I know, but we think we can fix that with our newfound podcast skills.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So we should be able to update the audio very soon.
That is very true. So we're going to have a stab at editing the audio, because we're absolute sound engineers these days. But yeah, like this episode of him was mega, mate, and it was our first one fully remote, because normally me and Ryan are sat next to each other just fucking wanking each other off.
I missed the fucking 8 o'clock Dutch rudder, to be honest.
But yeah, I was remote this time because I had my daughter and she was in bed, so I couldn't be with Ryan fucking going to town and he's fucking chilled. So
I had to wank myself off that night.
So yeah, we all dialed in and it was mega. Like it was just mint. Having Rooker back on, and we had him on cam as well. Not like doing anything sexual. He was just on cam.
That was after we stopped recording.
But yeah, it's just good to fucking have him back on and see his face, because it's a hot mate.
Such a dilf.
Such a dilf. But yeah, like we do dive into fucking loads of shit on this one. It's like a bit of a nice catch up with him, and then just like life lessons, and Rooker just sharing like words of wisdom and shit, because he's such a smooth criminal.
Yeah, mate, he's a motivational monster, innit?
Yeah, he is, man, and he's absolutely just donning out fucking speeches and shit these days. Getting on stage is just fucking like Jesus, mate, fucking passing everyone bread and stuff. Like, just such a fucking baller, mate. Honestly.
Bread and bottles of water.
Yeah, make sure you fucking stay tuned, because this episode's sick.
Yeah, enjoy it, TBC members.
Peace. Welcome back, everyone. Today's episode is a special one. We have our first returning guest, which is Mr. Luke Rooker. This guy has been a cornerstone within the Troubled Boys Club since the very beginning. You were the first person to message us, the first guest we had on, and now it's the return of the king. We're delighted to have you back. How's it going, Luke? How's it going?
Yeah, good boys, good. Thank you for having me back. If I was the first person to message you, you must have been dire to start off with.
To be fair, mate, I think we made the account and you messaged us within 5 minutes and was like, yo, can I come on? So
he was like, I need to come on, boys.
Yeah, no, it's good to be back. It's nice to be back, and this time hopefully the audio is a little bit clearer so people can actually understand what I'm saying.
Oh mate, it's HD.
Oh, Jay,
mate.
you know what? I've just thought, for Rooker's like graph up, we could be like, guess who's back?
I thought that today. Again. Yeah, I thought the same thing, mate.
Back. We're going to stick with this Eminem theme, aren't we? I can see it now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, we've definitely got to like get an Eminem thing back in. Maybe what's the 8 Mile cover, like him stood in a fucking wife beater in front of a caravan or something? Put Rooker's head on his body or something, and be like Return of the Rooker or something. We'll have to do something funny for the graphic. But I was going to say as well, we recently had on our pal Stuart McKenzie, who I believe you know, and he had nothing but nice stuff to say about you. So
Stuart's a good guy.
I was going to say,
his journey's been he's had a journey, and he was one of the he sort of came to AMC, and he's a good guy, and he's doing well, and it's nice to see.
Oh, so do you go to the same one?
No. He did to start with. He came to the one that I was at, but he lives a bit further away.
Yeah.
And he's now involved with the one closer to him. But yeah, he's doing well for himself, and he's got a good positive mindset and a good positive outlook.
Oh, definitely, mate. Definitely.
It's nice to see. He's a good guy.
His episode's going to be out next, but he's such a mega guy. Like you said, the shit he's kind of been through and stuff like that, and like just like the mindset he's got now, it's mad, mate. Like you said, with his pink chair, and he's been like he messages Ryan quite a lot on WhatsApp, and he puts his pink chair in his big fucking rucksack and goes like hiking and shit with it, just like mad stuff. But like it was just so nice speaking to him. He's a proper funny guy. Really nice.
Yeah, he's taken it. He's to get where he is now. Like you say, he's gone through it, and he's on that. I would say very much in the politest way to him, and he probably wouldn't mind me saying, is very much that the money doesn't buy you happiness kind of side of it. Yeah, he's very much settled in his mindset and what he's got and what he has and what he's achieved in really not a quite a short space of time. So yeah, all the best to him. I haven't spoken to him personally in a while. I think he messaged me briefly a while back. But yeah, we haven't actually sort of sat and spoken and caught up properly for a while. So I'm glad that he's doing well, and I'm glad that he's been on, and he's got to share his story as well.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I was going to say, I'm looking forward to seeing you sat in that pink chair. That's all I'm saying.
I'll say and worse.
Podcast questions on us, weren't it, Jay? You proper flummoxed us.
Yeah, like we got to like towards the end and the episode, like, because I was having a laugh with him at the start because we pressed record as we always do, and like normally we'd like intro the episode, and it got to like 20 minutes and he hadn't even let us talk because he was just fucking chatting loads of shit, and I was like, "Are you gonna let us fucking talk?" I was like, "You fucking Scottish fuckers, mate. You and Luke, they're both the same. Like, couldn't get a word in with you on the first one either." But no, it was funny. And then when we got towards the end, we was like wrapping it up, and we like did the who you drink. No, we didn't do the who you drinking. It was like so messed up and random. So we like spoke for 20 minutes, and then we did the intro, and then he asked us if we could do the who you drinking like halfway through it. And then right at the end when we was done, he was like, "Right, and I'm asking you questions now." And we was on like an hour 20, and I was like, "Fucking hell, man! Like, I'm tired, man. I want to fucking go to bed."
I want to go to bed.
Yeah, he started asking what my favourite pie was and stuff from my childhood. I was like, "Fucking hell."
I know he was cutting us deep, weren't he?
Yeah, it was good though. I liked it. Really good.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, so Luke, can you do us a favour and stroke our egos a bit? So since you were last on, tell us just how you think your boys have been doing.
How my what, sorry, lads?
So since you were on the pod, like our first guest and stuff, like obviously you've been watching from afar now, like the daddy rooker that you are. So can you tell us how you think your boys are doing since you were last on?
I think I would say, to be honest with you, I think like anything in its infancy, you always have, if you're teething problems, it's what you do at the start, what works, what doesn't work. But you've been consistent, you've kept things which are consistent, and the attitude towards it is consistent. It hasn't become an egocentric thing, which you do see with some things at times. It can be quite easy to get caught up in the look what we're doing, look what we're achieving aspect of it. You've kept it grounded, and you've kept your roots, if you like, the same. And I respect you for that. And what's nice to see is the amount of people that are coming forward from all different walks and genres of life that want to share their story and get on and talk to you guys. And like I say, that help grows the platform as well. But in the same way, the fact that people are wanting to come on says a lot as well. These things, I always think in today's age, everyone wants to be a YouTuber, a podcaster, a vlogger, because they think all they've got to do is buy a microphone, come up with something niche, and there you go, you've got 1 million subscribers. When in reality, it's the hard work that's put in, and it's finding that niche thing. And I think with you guys as well, keeping it to that same thing, that Trouble Boys Club, that just general chit-chat, chewing the fat, and the kind of no airs and graces approach, I think it is refreshing in a sense. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and some of them are very moving, some are very, sort of hit you in the chest. And, you guys have got that. Then there has been those moments, but you're keeping it to what you guys know and what you guys do, and you're consistent with it. So, yeah, I think it's watching it from the sidelines, if you like. It's nice seeing that growth. And at the same time, it hasn't, and I mean this in the politest way, you don't want something like this to skyrocket overnight where suddenly you don't know how to deal with that. And then suddenly it falls at the wayside. So it's growing nicely. Keep at it. Keep what you're doing. Find out what works and what doesn't work, but keep consistent.
No, I really appreciate that, mate.
Choking up here, Luke. That was absolutely mega. Thank you very much for your kind words. But it has picked up on it, Jay, in terms of like people reaching out, and like I'm the admin bitch, so to speak.
Admin bitch.
And I just get flooded with people who want to come on, and I've scheduled people in up until mid-April, and we're only in September. It's just mint that like people are just looking at us and going, listen to a couple of our episodes, going, you know what, I feel like I could chat to these boys, so I'm going to go on their show. And it's madly like,
I think because it is down to earth. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and there are people out there that have got millions of followers, and the podcast can be down to earth, but ultimately the people talking maybe of a celebrity status, or they're higher up in the world. If it's a money one, if it's a feelings one, if it's a mental health one, or whatever, life coach or whatever, and the people that are on are of a certain stature or a certain level. And I think it's what's nice about yours is it's the everyman. It's it's the guy next door. It's the guy from the football team, the guy you play pool with, the guy that works next to you, your best mate, whatever. It's the normal guy, and that's what I think people can relate to as well. There's nothing necessarily special about us who, in regards to you or to the guest, we're just normal people who want to sort of say our bit or, do the things we can to help others. And I think that's where your niche lies, if that makes sense.
No, definitely. I've said something quite similar, to be fair, in previous episodes with quite a few people now. I don't think there's anything really out there, not like this, but I mean, like, you might think of it differently as well, because obviously you go Andy's Man Club, so it'll be similar to this in that, what I'm about to say, but I don't think there's anything like it for me personally, where you get this feeling, kind of, like when we speak to the guest, because it's like you just automatically get each other and you click. And I've said this to Ryan loads of times. I said, even though I've only spoke to like yourself once, and then like loads of other guests that we've had on and stuff, like I've only spoke to them once and stuff for an hour, and that's it. And then we've had a bit of social interaction on Instagram. I said to Ryan, like, if I seen Luke in the street, I'd run up to him and give him a big fucking hug. And be like, how's it going, mate? And I'd feel like I've known you like my whole life. And it's because, not saying we've all been on these bad journeys and stuff like that, but because we've kind of been through it and we know what it's like to be dealt shit cards, and we know what it's like to just be given shit in life. Do you know what I mean? Because there's people out there that don't, and they have had silver spoons up their fucking arseholes, and they just don't get it. Do you know what I mean? And like, you'll be in certain situations and you just don't really click with people and get it. But then, I just think with this little community of people, like, you just get each other, and it's the best way to describe it is it's like magical, the feeling. Do you know what I mean?
It's normal, like take where I am now, I just went down and got something to eat a minute ago, and I'm, effectively I'm in a hotel now. Well, not the hotel by myself, but I'm here as a single guest. Do you know what I mean? And I was just down there at the restaurant getting something to eat, sat on my lonesome, and it's that kind of thing that if you just sort of saw someone in a bar and sort of, started talking around, I'm for argument's sake, I know you're watching sport and there's a common ground, then you started talking, you can have a normal conversation. It's not suddenly where you see someone go, I know that person because they're, I don't know, X, Y, and Z, and that's where you think the common ground lies. Is the common ground lies in the fact that you can just have a normal conversation and whatever comes of it, and obviously, given the podcast, there's the things we talk about and like you say, the traumas that we may have gone through in life and how we're moving forward with them. But that's what could come out of conversations. I've had many a conversation with people where, I'm very open and honest and frank about sort of my mental health journey and mental health in general. And it's surprising how easy for me that is now to get that into a conversation. Whereas, years ago it would have been, oh, you don't mention that, you don't say that, you don't talk about that. Whereas now it's one of the things that I will bring up into a conversation because it's not something I'm embarrassed by. It's not something that I shy away from.
Yeah, definitely.
And I want as many people to know as possible, not to say necessarily go on social media and follow me. That I really couldn't give two hoots about. But, that sort of doing something for yourself, not sitting there and thinking, oh, I wish I could.
100%.
And it's a normal conversation to have.
100%. It was literally saying the same thing about the reason we started this podcast, because I was saying before we started doing it, and when me and Ryan was having the conversations about doing it, I was saying, like, I felt a bit like embarrassed, like, people might see it and take the piss, and then we're saying, what with Ryan, like, we just did it, and it was just like, it just feels fucking normal now, doesn't it? Like, couldn't imagine not having it. Like,
yeah, it's something that I majorly look forward to doing. I love doing all that research. I love getting to know people on Instagram, messaging us, because I tend to speak to them a bit more. So, try and connect with them on a bit of a personal level before they come onto the show, so they're nice and relaxed, they know who we are as people. And then when they come on, they're at ease and they can just be themselves and tell whatever they want to. And it's just phenomenal, mate. I couldn't imagine not having it live now, to be fair. I've got a big calendar up right above my desk with all our guests written up on it. And I just want to keep filling it up, man.
Yeah, and I was going to say...
But then again, like I say, you go back 4 or 5 months when this was in... it is in its infancy, but when it was in the sort of, the just coming to fruition, is that calendar that you've now got filled up would have been a dream. Would have been, that would be great to have. So look what you've achieved in that space of time to what could be achieved next year. Maybe you start doing video ones. Maybe you start doing other bits and pieces, and there's nothing stopping you but keeping, like I say, in essence, keeping the same roots to it is what it started out as and what it was aimed to be. You know, it's like that old thing people say, oh, you know, money wouldn't change me, you know, if I won the lottery. Well, of course it would. That's why you play the lottery. I play the lottery because I want it to change my life. Yeah, you know, definitely. I want to go out to my driveway and decide which car, Ferrari or Lamborghini, I'm taking to, you know, the driving range that day. Of course I want it to change my life, but it doesn't need to change me. No, you know what I mean? I can still be me, but I just got to try and figure out where I left the car keys and which of the 7 bedrooms. You know, so it's... Yeah, there's that side of it, but yeah, I think keeping what you can achieve with this really is down to you guys, you know, and how you grow it with that work you put in, but keeping the fundamentals of why you've got it, why you're doing it, and not letting it become about you rather than what it's about. And we've all done it. We've all let our egos get in the way at times. You know, I know I have. You know I have when starting my social channels, and suddenly things started growing and people are getting in touch, and suddenly people getting hold of me saying, oh, you know, I talked about this, and other companies or whatever getting involved. It said, you know, can you come and do a talk? And suddenly you think like, oh, I'm going to save the world. That's it. Look what I'm doing now. And I'm the best thing since sliced bread and whatever. Then you have to sort of say to yourself, well, hang on a minute. What am I doing? What's all that for? Is it am I stroking my ego, or is it about making sure that I'm still doing it for the purpose that I set out to do it? And, you know, I did need my wife to kind of bring me down a peg or two and go, right, dickhead. Do you know what I mean? Remember, you still got a wife and kids at home. This can't be 7 days a week. You still need that family time as well. And they're like, yeah, do you know what? You're right. Yeah, I do. Right. Slow down. So, yeah, you know, and of course there'll be that point to it, and it will come at some point. But like I say, is looking out for each other as well, and, you know, making sure that you ground each other in this, you know, however big or it grows. And that's down to you. That's down to however you want it to go. And there's nothing stopping it from becoming the #1 podcast on Spotify. But it's making sure that you're still doing it for those reasons.
Definitely. Yeah. Staying true 100%. To ourselves, 100%. Yeah.
But, I don't think we've got it in us to become sort of superficial about it. I think me and Day have been dealt a fucking proper shit hand, like, with our upbringings and stuff. I think even if, like, you know, we did get a bit bigger or whatever, I just don't think it's in our sort of makeup to lose what it is that we actually, you know, like the reasoning like behind why we did this and stuff like that. I don't see us losing that whatsoever. But I know what you're saying, like, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda, and all that stuff. But for now, like right now, I can't see us changing anything to do with our like ethos about the pod. Like it's the people's pod, man. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, and it's a coping mechanism. You know, I suppose if you were to come down to the crux of it, me listening from the start, and especially when I read the first, you know, things and listened to the first ones, it was a coping mechanism. It was a way of discussing and getting things out for the both of you and having that crux for each other. And you know, call it therapy, call it what you like, and you know that still needs to be, yes. And it's like anything, we all have our coping mechanisms. And the problem is sometimes we get so comfortable in the fact we're doing well. And this happened to me recently. I don't mind admitting, you know, where everything was great. I hadn't had any kind of dramatic events or anything that caused any kind of anxiety attacks or anything like that, or any of my sort of conditions, if you like, to come to fruition. And the next thing I knew, bang, I'd had a dissociation episode, and those coping mechanisms that I've worked so hard on over the years to put in place weren't there because I was doing so well that I'd put them to the back burner. And suddenly when I needed them, I was like, shit, they're not there, which caused, you know, it didn't get, you know, nothing, it wasn't, you know, the worst thing I've ever done, but, you know, it didn't need to be the way that it had gone if I'd have had those coping mechanisms there at the forefront. You know, does that make sense? It's like, you having something going, right, yeah, I'll keep this in a safe place, you know, keep like, the passports, I'll put them in the safe, I know where they are, and then suddenly putting everything else on top, and then coming to the day before your holiday and forgetting, well, where are the passports? Well, they're in the safe. Yeah, but whereabouts in the safe? We've needed these. Why are they at the bottom? And then you're having to pull everything else out, causing a drama, losing other documentation or whatever, when in fact you know you needed them there, and you know you've needed them for a while, so you should have just made sure that they were there in date. Do you know what I mean by that?
Defo. Luke, I've got a question, sorry, just on the back of what you were saying then, like in terms of like, not spiraling, but like, you know, like you said, you kind of you'll be fine for a long time? Because I've experienced this, and I just wanted to know what like from your side.
Yep.
What do you find? How does Miss Rooker kind of handle this? If you don't mind me asking, do you know if you do kind of spiral?
Yeah, no, she's she's a rock. She is like the cornerstones to me. But she, I wouldn't say, I don't mean not the most sympathetic. I don't mean that in the fact that she doesn't care, but she's seen it all. So when things happen, which I could have done something about, she's like, that, why didn't you? You know, things have happened there and things have been seen. You know, the kids have seen something they didn't need to see when you could have stopped that. You know, and what the situation of what happened was I went on a cupboard in the kitchen, the whole cupboard fell off. And in that moment, because I wasn't expecting it and it was, you know, an out of the norm, I literally dissociated. And I don't remember the cupboard falling off. I don't, you know, my wife tells me what happened, but the aftermath of it was I was in the kitchen, there was bloody smashed jars everywhere. And I was like, how did this happen? And all I remember saying to myself was, I don't know what's happened. I don't know what's happened. Suddenly I'm stood in the kitchen. My wife's not there. I don't know what's gone on. I don't know if I've done this, if I acted out. When, if I'd have had those mechanisms in place then and be able to, like, I tap. So if something starts getting to me, I tap. I'll just tap on my hand, you know what I mean? Like tapping it out. So it's like a way of calming me down. But I didn't do that. I didn't do the things that I know work for me. So then bang, it escalated. At that point, she was angry. Not angry at the fact that it happened, angry at the fact that I didn't cope with it the way that she knows I can.
Yeah.
And I didn't help myself, you know, and these things happen, but she is a real support, you know, and
so I can't even remember where we left off before you dropped out. Can you remember, Ryan?
Yeah. So the cupboard door was on the floor in like pieces.
Oh,
something
yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
Your missus was sort of not annoyed at you, but was like, how come you couldn't, so how she knows you can do.
Yeah, so basically the whole issue wasn't the fact the cupboard fell off. The whole issue was the fact that I didn't use the coping mechanisms that I know to put in place, do you know what I mean, to stop that from happening. So, yeah, you know, ultimately, to answer the question about her is she's supportive, but it's like that thing that I always say, unless you're going to help yourself, you can't expect someone else to help you either. So, you know, unless you're prepared to do something about it,
very fair.
You're on your own.
That's actually very fair. I actually like that answer. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I think so. If you sort of showing signs that you're trying, then I think you deserve that fucking arm around you to be like, I know you've just fell off, but I know you're trying, so keep at it. I'm here. Got you.
Yeah. In a very crude way, and I apologise to anyone that's, you know, got an addiction in this sense. I suppose it would be like, you know, if you were an alcoholic and saying, yeah, but I am trying, and every day opening up alcohol and go, well, you know, I'll try again tomorrow. Yeah, well, you know, you can keep saying it until you do something about it. So it's that whole, if you know what you need to do for you, and what works for me might not work for somebody else, but ultimately, like you say, it's having it's working on you, and you will slip. Sometimes things will happen, things will catch you on the blind side. And you can't, you know, sometimes you are reactive, but yeah, you know, as long as you're trying, and like I say with mental health it's like any, you know, it's any illness or condition, you know, mental health it's an everyday. You're fighting your battles every single day, and just because you're in a positive place doesn't mean that it can't creep up and smack you in the face. You've got to maintain that positivity. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that's a time when it's going to strike at its most. If you think you're on a positive stretch and you're like, yeah, I'm cool, mate. I think that's when it gets you. Yeah. I think I said it on previous episodes that like that's when like the big bad wolf's going to get you when you think you're in a good spot. That's when it'll get you.
Yeah, and that's one thing our therapist has said to us both before, hasn't she? Like when I've said like, yeah, I remember once, Luke, I went go therapy. Like I used to go every fortnight, and then I kind of dialed it back to like monthly because I was finding that I was just going there and just talking about my day and stuff, like just wasting money. And then I said like, do you think I should probably knock it on the head for a bit because everything's pretty good? And she said like, no, you should never stop really. You should, because you know, like you want it here kind of all the time. Like it's just good to always have it going kind of. And you know, I'm glad I did, because everything was good, and then shit hit the fan like a month or so ago, and you know, I really benefited from going to the therapy. You know, and then obviously doing this really helps too, as we've already said. It's just good to have these outlets really all the time. Like you said, I don't think you can ever take your foot off the gas really with mental health. I think it's just something that's continuously ongoing, and you just have to check yourself every day, and yeah, you just have to keep going, like you said, and have these little coping mechanisms. Like you said, you do the tapping, Luke. Like one thing I always used to do if I was getting a bit overwhelmed and like a bit of anxiety is I'd go and like wash the pots or tidy up, or go and like fold clothes and stuff in the laundry room, like proper
distract your mind.
Yeah. So I was just saying then, it's probably not going to seamlessly stitch it up together. We might just have to put a little bit in between and be like, yeah, the Wi-Fi dropped out, so excuses sort of thing. But yeah, I was just saying then about coping mechanisms and shit like that. Like you said, that you do the tapping. I'd always do I'd always go off and like wash the pots, or I'd fucking, I don't know, like I'd go in like the laundry room and like fold clothes and stuff like that, like a bit of a distraction for my mind. If I was getting a bit like overwhelmed or getting a bit of anxiety and stuff like that, I've just realised I've got my dressing gown on as well, funny.
Look baller, mate.
No.
If the only thing you're worried about the way you look is that dressing gown, then I would say you got no problems at all.
Oh, mega. Well, I'm gonna get the questions back up because I've closed them off on my phone. Just be 2 secs. This podcast has been actually a downgrade to fucking Stuart's, mate. Stuart's was more organised than this one, like we were saying before, with it all in random order.
Stuart was like, I think we said it about Rooker, that when you wind them teeth up and they're just good to go. Like Stuart was the exact same, mate. Like as soon as we dialed him in, he was off like fucking Dwayne Chambers, mate.
No. But yeah, so I was just going to ask, obviously, since you've last been on, mate, like what's been happening, you know, in the Rooker world? Like, how's the family, how's the kids, everything like that? Everything all good?
Yeah, good, mate. Obviously, there was Christmas, which is always an eventful time for everyone. And then my eldest birthday is just after Christmas on the 30th of December. And then my youngest is on the 31st of January. So it's a busy old time. But no, work-wise, obviously, like, you know, I was not long after... it was around the time I did the podcast with you the first time that I got in touch with, like, the senior management in my sort of work. And, you know, so I was had off-the-cuff conversations and about sort of mental health and Andy's Man Club and raising that awareness. And that's grown to fruition to be, to the reason I'm sat here now and I'm not sat at home, you know, to do those talks over the next couple of days, you know, the first ones for the company I work for. So, yeah, you know, that side of it's gone really well. I'm looking forward to it. I'm nervous. I'm apprehensive. Of course I am. You know, I'm delivering to an audience where people can find me by email, you know, and Skype. So it's all good. Family's all good. Wife's doing really well. We've booked our our flight, for this year. So looking forward to going away. You know, my wife's away for 4 weeks and I'm away for 2. And she's like, you know, will you be all right by yourself for 2 weeks? And I was like, how will I cope? How will I cope at home for 2 weeks by myself with no kids, no wife? You know,
I thought you were saying
no kids there.
I thought you had the kids, and she was saying, "Are you going to be all right with 2 weeks with the kids?"
Oh yeah, what are you going to do? You're going to be an absolute broken person.
Yeah, I mean, what will I do? Yeah, as long as the hot tub's turned on, I'm good to go. Work, come home, hot tub, bed. Who am I kidding? To be honest with you, I'll just be glad of a decent night's sleep. That's all I'll be glad about.
That's where my head went. You'll have a good kit, 8 till 8 or whatever, however you want.
Yeah, I'm bigging it up like I'm going to be on some mad kind of like Frank the Tank rampage when effectively I'll be in my jammies come sort of back at 6 and bed by 7:30.
Frank the Tank.
I'll just be excited.
Do you know what that's from? Do you know what the reference in there? Frank the Tank. It's from fucking Old School, innit? With Will Ferrell and Luke Wilson, Owen Wilson's brother.
Yeah, and Will Ferrell, yeah.
Frank the Tank. Or Old School, what a film that is.
Yeah. So no, apart from that, like I say, life is good. No real complaints. But then again, that's another thing I look at and say, yeah, I try and look at any of those things and say, well, what is there to complain about? I mean, I could probably complain about lots, but what's complaining going to do? If I can't change it, I can't do anything about it. Accept it. If I can, then make sure I try and put it in a positive way. Collectively, but both myself, singly and collectively as a family. So yeah, all good. All good on that front.
I'm gonna say you've got such a good mindset, bro. Like I'm jealous, mate. Like I wish I took life on the way you do. Like you've got such a good mindset.
But honestly, right? I want to clarify that. I'm saying that as if it's I wake up every day and go, and it's not. I've had a couple of medical things. Well, I've had a medical thing going on, which is it's a bit of a strange one, and that's kind of. Yeah, it's nothing major. I'm not dying or anything. It's just that it's more. It literally is a pain in the ass, and it's that, and but yeah, I still get frustrated. I still get annoyed. I still get. I don't wake up and listen to the birds sing and open the curtain and say it's a wonderful day. It's just how I look at it and go, right, how am I going to address this? How am I going to deal with this? I still get annoyed. I still get frustrated, but it's that reaction off of that. It's not letting that frustration and anger build.
Take over.
If something's annoyed me, it's annoyed me. Right. Okay, cool. Maybe I vent it. Maybe I come home and, talk to my wife and say, oh, this X, Y, and Z, or this happened. But I get it off, or I deal with it in my own time, like on my drive to or from work, the hour or so in the car. And yeah, of course, there's things that frustrate me and annoy me. There's things that my kids will do. My 9-year-old is pushing me at the moment. He's getting that cheeky way, and he's obsessed with the Xbox, and I feel like I'm having a go at him more than I'm not, and I don't like that. But yeah, I need to sort of slow down sometimes and look and go, okay, cool, yeah. Listen to what my wife's saying. Of course, she's always right. So yeah, listen to what she's saying, taking it in, and yeah, just absorbing it all, reflecting on it all. And I think as well, being away this week, the last sort of, just being here by myself, it gives you a lot of time to self-reflect, gives you a lot of time to think, gives you a lot of time to evaluate. Ultimately, things that happen, I can't change that. I don't dwell on it and say, well, what is it that I want to achieve? For argument's sake, what do I want to achieve tomorrow with this talk? I could go in tomorrow and there could be one person sat in that room. There could be 30 people sat in that room. I don't know. So I can't change that. I can't change who's coming. All the communications are out, all the posters, all the emails have been sent. Cool, that's all done. There's no point in me sitting here tonight worrying about it. It's done. Tomorrow will be what tomorrow will be, and my workload this week, I can only do what I can do. If I can work between that, great. You can clearly see that I can't get on the Wi-Fi in the hotel to get anything done. So it's accepting it and saying, well, next week's going to be a busier week. It's simple as that. And letting people know accordingly that, yeah, if you need something done off me this week, then it ain't going to happen. But yeah, no, all in all, everything is, I'm happy.
No, mega, mate.
That's good. That's good to hear. So, the talks that you're doing, is that on behalf of your company?
I'm doing it to the company. It's something that, so long story short, we have like mental health first aiders and mental health champions, and that's great. But, we have these things called time to talk and wellness meetings. And sometimes you have these big ones that'll bring in some corporate, I don't know, life coach or something who's like, yeah, let's all stand up and shake our arms and sit down and think of pretty pictures. I kind of said, like, we need, I'm happy to share my story. I'm happy to get up and talk about that. And I think having that raw honesty and someone that everyone can relate to, effectively, I'm a colleague as well. Although I may not directly work with these people, on a daily basis, but I wear the same ID badge. These are people that are within the same company. So it's a kind of a life talk, and really kind of hitting home on the negatives deliberately to come to the positives at the end. And what you can do, and ultimately that starts with you. You know, it's very raw and open, because I think it needs to be, and just, you know, almost like sort of saying to people that, yeah, it doesn't matter what you've got, whatever you've got going on, and whether that's big, small, whatever, it's relevant to you. You know, what may seem insignificant to someone else, whatever, you know, to you it's relevant, but hoping it will go away isn't the answer. Hoping that the world's going to come and give you a big hug and say they're there isn't going to happen either. You know, you can be offered all the help that you want, but until you actually say, yeah, do you know what? I have a problem, or I have an issue, or I need to address something, that's when you can accept that help. If not, you just effectively, you're lying to yourself, as far as I see it. You know, I'm not a medical professional, but through what I've been through, unless you can say, yeah, I need to do something about this, then you're just going to waste other people's time. So that's kind of how the angle it's kind of coming at, really. So we'll see.
Yeah, sounds good, mate. I think I wanted to do this, Joe, when you was talking then, but I didn't want to throw anyone off. There's all these filters here, and I want to try one of them out. See if it does it. No.
It can't make anything worse, surely.
There you go.
Your background.
Am I a bunny or robot?
It's just gone black.
What?
Oh, you're a cat?
There you go. I'm going to stay as a cat.
Yeah. It's an improvement anyway.
There you go.
That's true.
But yeah, and like the other one of the, go on, what you're going to say something? You're going to ask me something? I apologise.
No, it's okay. It was just I think Ryan was going to ask a question. That's why I started fucking about with these filters, because I didn't want to cut him off.
Go on, right.
Yeah, that's Jay's nice way of queuing me up here. So thank you very much, Jay. So we wanted to ask again about how like the Andy's Man Club's doing in your area. Is that thriving? Has it got any new people come in, and just how that's going?
Yeah, to be honest with you, it's doing really well. But again, like anything, you know, we're the club that I go to is I suppose in comparison to some of the ones, you know, when I say down south, I'm talking sort of England way, that have got maybe 3-4 times as many people that go to what we have. You know, we have a good group of guys. We've got some new guys recently. You know, January sort of time, I think looking at last year when we went, that's when you get a lot of new people, because it's January.
Yeah.
You know, that reality of Christmas, thinking that, you know, Christmas will be perfect and all my problems will go away, really doesn't happen. It just kind of, it masks it, and then it gets worse in January. So we've had some new people turn up, but again, we've got a really good community of people. I like to think people that, you know, are actually there for each other, that know we know each other as well. You know, we've got to know each other, and yeah, like I say, it's doing well. One of the guys there that goes has kind of set up a pool night on a Thursday, so we go down to like the local snooker club, if you like, and play some pool for those that can attend. And yeah, it's very much, it's becoming that staple part of people's weeks, not in the sense that they need it. If they don't go to it, they're not going to survive, but they go to it because they want to go to it, they look forward to it. It's friendly faces, it's getting that off their chest, and it's doing exactly what AMC is supposed to do, is to talk and get those problems out and start people talking, so it doesn't turn into something else. So yeah, from AMC perspective, obviously I wasn't there this week because I was down here, and again, I missed it. Of course I did, and I wish I could have been to it, but it you know, it wasn't like, if I don't go to AMC, my week's gone to shit. It was, I can't go to that one. I could have potentially come to a club down here, but by the time I got here, settled, checked in, got something to eat, it was, you know, time was gone. So yeah, you know, it has that desired effect. And again, anyone that's, I reiterate this, if any guy is thinking about going to AMC, the decision's already there. Go.
Yeah.
You know, don't dwindle on it. Just turn up. You know, you're not parting with money. The only thing you're parting with is 2 hours of your night. And like the old question, you know, what harm can come of it? So yeah, AMC is doing really well.
Sorry to jump in, Luke. Did you say, is it always on a Monday, Andy's Man Club?
Yeah, Monday 7 till 9 o'clock, except bank holidays.
Right. Okay. So I just wanted to clarify that for anyone who was listening.
Yeah. Anyone that wants to know, the best thing to do is just jump on the AMC website, on Facebook, on Google, whatever. Go on the website, find my location or find my nearest club and smash it in that way. You know, there's 140 plus clubs, I think now. So there's bound to be one, you know, close enough to you that you can go to that, you know, and like I say, it's that old thing. The hardest part is walking through the door for the first time. But it's, you know, when you see what I see as well with some of the guys that have been going, that in just that short space of time that they've been going, that journey already that they've been on, and how they're something to get off their chest has gone from being, you know, a catastrophic, monumental sort of life-changing event at the start down to, again, it's what's relevant to them, but in the grand scheme of those problems, you know, it seems less significant. And sometimes it's comical, you know, sometimes they are comical, but it's what's bugged them that week. And that's what I think is great. If you can get down to something like, yeah, bloody, I don't know, I couldn't find a parking spot at Tesco's, which is your gripe, when 6 months ago it was you were going to jump off a bridge. I think that's progress. So, yeah, and some guys don't have anything to get off their chests, and that's great as well. So, yeah, you know, it's having that support and that support network that people know you're there for each other, which, again, is something I think we lack in society now. We're too obsessed with social media and how we look online and how many likes we get for something and what we can and can't say. We're scared of the repercussions for putting something out, or what if this person thinks this or whatever. Then, and it's all about image as far as I'm concerned. That's what I think the main focus of people now is image. And it's, you know, it's that thing for me of, if you've got £30,000 in the bank and you're driving a £1,000 car, people look at you and think you're broke. But if you've got £1,000 in the bank and you're driving a £30,000 car, people think you're doing all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference between being rich and being wealthy, isn't it?
Yeah. And for me, there's been a lot of reflecting in that sense recently, where I look and go, you know, I'm in a fortunate position, and yeah, but I've got, you probably saw it did the rounds sort of like last year on Father's Day, was, you know, around that time of, you know, this is what rich looks like. And it was, you know, the cartoon or the picture of the dad walking the door with the kids running up to him and his wife sat there. And, you know, that nickname, this is what rich looks like. And it's true, you know, it's the cliche, money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you a jet ski. You've ever seen a sad person on a jet ski? But yeah, it's what's important. And knowing that I've got, you know, my wife, my kids, and, you know, I've got a warm, loving home to go to. It's not a house, it's a home, you know, and the roof over my head and bills are paid. And I appreciate, you know, what that for some people that made it seem like the norm, but for some people that's an absolute mile away. And I think we forget that, you know, we have this whole look at us, look what I've got my, you know, I'm driving my Tesla and I'm saving polar bears in my, you know, badly fitting salesman suit or whatever. But and there's other people that go, you know, I'm making a decision here. Do I put the heating on or do I feed my kids? And that to me still blows my mind in 2024 that's where we're living. And I have to remind my eldest that a little bit at times when he, you know, I have to sort of say to him, look what you've got. There's people out there that don't have what you've got. And I have to remind myself at times when I go, do I need another pair of trainers? Do I? You know, I don't need anything. And, you know, it's not like necessarily that money could be better spent elsewhere. It's, do I need it, or is it just me buying it? It's not going to make me happy, but it's a pleasure. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, what makes me happy is knowing that my family are there. You know, and all my family, you know, my wife, my kids, my family, you know, sort of down in Somerset, my dad, my stepmom, aunties and uncles, cousins, brothers and sisters, you know. So yeah, edit, not my sister. Yeah. So yeah, it's that's what to me wealthy is. You know, if you've got some money in the bank as well, happy days. You're not going to do any harm, but money isn't the be all and end all. And that's a big lesson for me to learn. That, you know, for me it was all, not that long ago, really, in the last sort of 5-6 years, where money was a lot more important to me than what it is now. So it's only since my wife's taken control of the finances that I've actually realised I don't need stuff. I thought I did, but in fact, I don't.
Definitely.
But yeah.
Like you said, family's 100% the most important thing, and sometimes you can just get caught up in it. And like, I've been speaking to Ryan a lot about this recently, but like you can slip into like routine, and you can just forget what is important. But at the end of the day, like you said, Luke, you can't buy that happiness, No.
And I'm in this weird kind of strange part of my life, right? I got excited last week doing life insurance. That's the kind of that's where that's the kind of, I'm like, oh, life insurance, and oh yeah, we need to get the wills sorted, better update those, and oh yeah, we've got critical illness cover, yeah, we got that, cool, these things, and that's where I get excited by things now. I'm like, yeah, it's nice to know I got that reassuring feeling that these things are sorted. But I'm also at this strange thing where I look at my work, life, home, whole situation, right? And I've not long been with the company I've been with them a year or so. And obviously, I look at that, I've got another 20 years or so, hopefully, before I can retire. And I think, well, 20 years, I could do a lot in 20 years with the company. But at the same time, I've also got a wife and kids, and I've got a home life. Is what do I want? For one of those, it'd be a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If I want to climb that ladder, if I was to go, up to the executive grades and start doing that, then you expected to work more and do this and that. So straight away, you're compromising the work-life balance. But if I don't do it, then I'm content at home. But what if? So it's a funny situation. But, I've got to look at it and say, well, like how I looked at it and sort of sat and thought, and I had the conversation with my wife and said, the position I'm in, some people would love to get that by the end of their careers. And I'm looking at it because I've just started with the company, wherein ultimately I have to look at the whole picture and go, right, let's slow down to speed up here. We're doing all right. We're, in that sense, everything is doing all right. We're good. Why rock that apple cart just yet unnecessarily for pride, for personal ego? Do you know what I mean? Does it need to be? My boys are young. Are those years more important than climbing that career ladder just now? 100%. I know you probably guys are the same. You'll know people who they're career driven, and there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. And they miss out on a lot of their kids' stuff, but it's okay because they can buy them an Xbox.
Yeah.
Or you have the ones who spend that time at home.
Trade-off, isn't it?
Yeah, who spend that time at home making, I don't know, paper chains and homemade decorations or whatever for Christmas. May not have an Xbox, but they've got great memories. And it's that old thing, isn't it? That saying of the only person that remember the time you spent at work or whatever are your children, or whatever that saying is. You know what I'm referring to.
Definitely.
And it's that. So yeah, I'm just that kind of like, okay, cool. I'm seeing where this journey takes me. I'm in a position where I'm doing these talks and seeing where that goes. And again, I'm not paid any extra for it. There's extra work for me and travel and being away from home, but it's the end game with that. It's reaching like that one person that hopefully listens and goes, actually, do you know what? Maybe I will go and speak to someone, or maybe I will reach out, or maybe I will send that text message. Do people still send text messages now? I don't know. Whatever it is.
It's WhatsApp mania, isn't it, at the minute? But yeah, I've not sent a text in ages.
So you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not saying someone that has to be content and accept, but also look at what that would affect if you did whatever those decisions that you're thinking of making. Look at the wider picture and saying, right, that contentment, is there anything wrong with being content? I don't think so.
No.
It's not giving up. And I think that's where a lot of people look at it and go, being content is giving up. Is it? What do you have to sacrifice to get there? If you're 16, 17, and you start your careers in whatever, and you again, if you're a young couple, you're looking at buying your first house and that, I appreciate that. but I'm not. I'm late 30s now. I keep trying to say to myself I'm mid 30s, and my wife keeps saying you're not. You're late 30s. So
how dare she?
I'm happy. I'm happy. If things happen, they happen, but they'll happen because they happen, not because I'm chasing them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's all that matters, mate.
Off the back of what you said there, Rooker, I seen a video of like a round table with a load of celebrities, and Tom Hanks and Michael Keaton were there, and Michael Keaton was saying, "Hang out with your kids as much as you can. It's the one thing you'll never regret."
Yeah, 100% true. 100% true. And yeah, I mean, there's times that my boys will come down and they'll do something daft, and you quickly snap a picture of it, and you've got that memory there, and you've got that that sort of photo there. And I think it's true. It's those. You got kids. Is I look at my 9-year-old and go, how did that happen? How did he get 9? How is he down near the same shoe size as my wife? How's my 4-year-old starting school this year? How's that happened? And time flies. It does. It's a cliche. And the older you get, the quicker it goes. And then before you know it, like you say, how many people do you know that go, like your parents will say it, whether, God, I remember when you were young and now you've left the house. And there's times I go, I can't wait till my boys are 18 and they've left the house and we can go on holiday whenever we want. And I haven't got to buy 1,000 snacks a day. And, I don't have to think, oh, right, I need a family room when we go away. But at the same time, I know I'll look back on those times and go, I wish the kids were here. Do you know what I mean? So, but it's all relative. But I totally agree. Yeah, spending time with your kids, and at the same time, not over spending time with your kids. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I think there are parents that can be smothering.
Yeah.
But
do you know what I mean?
In terms of like, your kids aren't going to remember the fucking presents you buy them. They're going to remember that time you played with them and you made them smile. You tickled them, you put them to bed and you said, love you, and you booked them on the nose. Like my daughter the other day, she's been watching, what's it from now? Zog and the Flying Doctors, and the uncle and the princess, they booked each other on the nose. And when I was putting her in a cot, she like booked me on the nose and I booked her back. And I fucking put her down. I went downstairs. I was fucking bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the shit you're going to remember, not where you took them on holiday, what you bought them for Christmas. It's those little intricate little moments that you're just like, wow, I cannot believe that just happened.
I 100% agree. Like with my youngest, when I put him to bed, and I didn't even know how it came about, but we do like 3 kisses. And I go like, I love you. And he now said it. It's him that says it to me. But it's what it goes without saying. And obviously, there's part of me that's a little bit smug being away. Like, is he doing that with my wife, or is that a daddy thing? And has she had to adapt to it and sort of take his lead on that and go, okay, cool. So yeah, it's true. Like I say, it's those things you miss. And yeah, will my boys remember in 15 years' time that they got my eldest that he got a gaming PC for Christmas last year? Probably not. But will he remember if I wasn't there and I was working away all the time to try and chase my career? Of course he will.
Yeah, defo. Sorry. Just getting our next question sorted between us because we're both remote. So sorry. I didn't mean to be rude then. I was just going to say, do you feel a positive change within this space at the moment? Like, in terms of the whole like men's mental health kind of stuff? Because I know it's something we've spoke about quite a lot recently with different guests.
Yeah, but I suppose I would say yes because I'm in it. I think that we are more open and accepting to it as a community, as a country. There's definitely still pockets of legacy, old school kind of mindsets there. Of course, there is in parts of the country that still have that mindset. But again, for me, like I was sort of saying earlier on, there is I'm open to those conversations, and I'll quite often initiate those conversations. Just today, I'm going to say I was in the gym. By gym, I mean I was in the pool. By pool, I mean I was in the steam room. And there was an absolute tank of a guy, and there was this tattoos that caught me, and I was like, he kind of caught me looking, and I was like, oh, awkward. And I was like, I like your tattoos, mate. And he was like, all right. Then he started telling me a story about one of the tattoos on his arm. So I was like, all right. And then he kind of stopped. I said, mate, cool. I said, so I kind of talked about mine. And then sort of AMC came to conversation, and they asked me, was I from here? I said, no, I live in Scotland, blah, blah, blah. And it was an easy then, bang, the conversation. I knew where I was going to take the conversation, and I pulled it in. And just sat there, sort of spoke about AMC. I mentioned it, and then someone else came in, and it all went quiet, and whatnot. And then as it's like you've been in the steam room for that long, you feel like you're going to die. And so I was lying on one of the lounges, and as he came out and he was walking past, and he just went, "What was that thing again? What did you say it was, mate?" I said, "Andy's Man Club." And he was like, "Andy's Man Club." Right, I got it, cool. So I thought, do you know what? If he Googles it, if he has a look, maybe he goes, maybe he doesn't, but he knows about it. But it's having those conversations is a lot easier because, like I say, I'm open and honest and frank about my mental health, and I will talk to anybody, and I'd rather it got on people's nerves hearing about it than not talk about it and not reach that person. So yeah, I think there has been a positive change, and I think AMC has got a huge part to play in that, and other charities are like, Men Matter Scotland, yourselves, Boys Get Sad Too. I think they're doing great work with their clothing line, and I've seen a lot more people wearing that. Mindful Clothing UK, they're another one that I've seen. And when they've got the right agendas, there's a lot of ones out there that sort of have these good mental health messages on it, but it's all for profit. It just sounds good. So I think the right people, there's a lot of people making the right noise, and it is having that positive change. And yeah, I mean, if we go back 10 years, 2014, let's think what was happening in 2014. It may seem like 10 years ago, it really is not that far. And these conversations weren't really happening. You were talking mental health behind closed doors. You were kind of like, mental health, and, it's all right to talk, but it was only professionals saying it. It wasn't the everyday man, so to speak. So, yeah, I definitely think that there's positivity, there's positives in it, and it's moving in the right direction. And your podcast is homage to that. The amount of people you've had on, male and female. So yeah, I think the mental health awareness, the mental health space is doing really, really well, and I think people are prepared to open up and talk. I think that they know that there's less comeback, and I think corporates, companies and corporations now have had to adapt. Yeah. It's not just a case of, I don't feel great, my mental health, right, occupational health, and take some time off. How do you feel in a month? Come back, you're good. We've got mental health first aiders, we've got mental health champions, we've got people we can talk to, and employee awareness programs and stuff that you can turn to. I mean, my company's got a hotline 24/7 that you can reach out to, and they'll sort of point you in the right direction, which I think's fantastic. So yeah, I think the whole wider community, and I know there'll be people that will listen that will go, snowflake generation, fucking don't know they were born, wouldn't have a hard day's work, fucking someone looks at them wrong, they get sad. And I do kind of sympathize a little way with that. I do, without causing a ruckus. I do think we're on the cusp of going too far the other way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's even my 4-year-old. He comes home from nursery and he said something recently. I can't remember what it was. Something when he went, and he started greeting, and my wife went, "What is it?" And he went, "My heart, it's broken." And we were like, "What?" And he was like, "Into 1,000 pieces, it's broken." And I was like, "Okay." And he's learning about emotions and that in nursery. He's also clicked on that if he does something wrong and he gets told off, that he goes, "Oh, I feel sad and my heart is broken." Yeah, that card's already been played, mate. Move.
Clever.
So yeah, I suppose the roundabout answer to that long-winded answer I gave you was yes, and long may it grow, as long as we manage it correctly.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've seen a massive change, like you said, in terms of just how much stuff's popping up. Like you said, obviously with us doing this, we see like new pages all the time popping up now and messaging us. But I think one of my favourite things as well is like you said about the kind of different guests we've been getting on. Like you said, everyone's from all like different walks of life, and I know we had our first female guest on last week, Mel, which was an amazing episode, like probably one of my favourites. And then we've got people coming on in the next few weeks, like from America and shit like that. So that's going to be like really like interesting, and just like you said, mate, just pushing the message out as far as possible, exactly like what you're doing and stuff like that. But
and it is, and like I say, you've also got the celebrity side of it as well, where people are jumping. I mean that. I watched that Peter Crouch documentary, or that Peter Crouch film that was on Prime. At the end of it, when he did that Peter Crouch show, the live show that he did, and there was talking about things. He was talking about his journey and his battles and stuff. And the audience were predominantly men. You saw, I think it was, I want to say it was Wembley or the O2, whatever stadium it was that he sort of sold out. So you've got high-profile people coming out talking about things. And it is growing, and it's breaking that stigma, especially for men. And that's not a sexist comment. Women are generally a lot better talking than men. It's breaking that stigma and being that it is okay to talk, whether it's dropping a text or whatever. But it's also that people know how to respond. So if somebody messages you out of the blue saying, "Hi mate, how you doing?" Or they go, "How are you?" Well, actually, now you mention it, I'm not great. Okay, cool. Speak to you later. That person's had to go through all that built up energy and trauma and apprehension to message, and suddenly it can be shut down. So it's how to speak out, but also know how to. I'm not saying you have to be a mental health champion or first aider, but think the other side of what's that person, the courage that person's taken to message and speak out. And I've had it with my work, people that have messaged me randomly that I kind of work with in the community of where I work, talking, they'll drop me a Skype message, or what do you reckon to the race on the weekend? And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's knowing that, that, where the conversation, I kind of do where it's going to go, but that's their first point, a common ground, talking, obviously for me, it's Formula One or NFL or whatever it is. And you can kind of build into from there. And I think, you've had that courage to do that. So, it is reaching the heights that it needs to get to, and long may that continue. It is growing the arms and legs that it needs to grow.
Mega. Well, I think we've asked all our questions, mate. And like I said at the start, it's been wonderful having you back. Just hearing your voice and just catching up, mate. It's been mega.
Yeah, apologies for the connection issues. I can only.
Oh, mate, don't worry. I can chop that bad boy
nothing
out.
I can. Yeah, but no, like I say, boys, is you keep up. Keep doing what you're doing, and if you're getting people across the pond, then you're doing something right. And you never know. Maybe there's a live show in it somewhere down the line, a local gig somewhere, sat on stage, chewing the fat, and talking to somebody on stage with an audience of. Maybe it's paying guests. Maybe they just want to turn up. Yeah, and
they're the ideas, aren't they? Like that's what we've spoke about it a little bit. Like saying like that would be the dream. Like you said, to maybe do like a live talk, or even do like some kind of like camp out or something, or like a festival, just anything. You know what I mean? Where everyone can all fucking come to one place and just, like I said at the start, like have that magical connection with each other. And do you know what I mean? Just
the one thing I was actually going to say was I spoke with the Royal Mail, my end, and they said my post is working properly, so it must have just been an error on your end for the beers and merchandise that you guys have got that never arrived at my house.
We haven't got your address, mate, that's why. No, but it's on a recording now. You can't skip out of it. There you go. Well, as soon as we get the merch done, because we have plans to get it done, we will definitely send you out some merchandise, 100%.
Yeah, give me a car sticker too. I'll check down the back of my car.
Yeah, mate, 100%.
Yeah, on our little like to-do list, like we've ticked off like 2 or 3 things now. And the next one on it is merch.
Yeah.
So that's like our next thing that we can go all in on.
All right, but don't stress yourselves out about it. Like I say, if it happens, it happens. But yeah, if start off small, if people buy it, get it out there, get it on your socials. I'll wear it. I'll wear anything that's free. Saves me having to buy for it. You know what I mean? So yeah, but no, definitely. But like I say, you're doing good, boys. You're doing good. Look at the growth that you've gained in 6 months, 7 months of doing this.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it's you keep that up and keep that ethos and keep that you keep your feet on the ground with it and drive it to where you want to go, but let it take you. Don't push it in places just for the sake of it.
Yeah, no, I agree massively. But yeah, anything you wanted to add, Ryan, before we wrap up?
No, mate, I'm just buzzing to get you back on, Luke, seeing how you're doing and stuff, and it's been mega to have you back. It really has.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm glad to be back, boys, and thank you. So I don't know if there's a part 3 in this or not. Let's give it maybe a little bit more time, see what happens.
Yeah,
of course there is. You can chat for days.
Definitely have to do part 3.
I said, of course, there's going to be a part 3 because you can chat for absolute days.
Yeah, I'll talk to my shadow if it will listen.
Well, Luke, we'll let you go and smash the minibar anyway.
Yeah, and good luck with the talks.
Yeah,
stuff, Luke. I hope it goes well.
Yeah,
for you.
appreciate it.
Yeah, well, we'll message you tomorrow and check in, see how you got on.
Yeah, tell us how it goes.
Happy days. All right, boys. Well, you take care. Apologies for the connection stuff, but I'm sure you'll make it work.
Oh, 100%, mate. Looking forward to it.
Right.
All right. Thanks
Cheers,
very
boys.
much, Luke. See you in a bit. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.